you had two women sitting in the room together with 60 minutes doing things that will make you do better. Look in the mirror when we come together and tell the truth. Woman to woman. When you had two women sitting in the room together with 60 minutes doing things that will make you do better. Look in the mirror when we come together and tell the truth. Woman to woman. Sex, trust, lies on us. Yes, sex, trust, lies on us. Woman to woman. Sex, trust, lies on us. Yes, sex, trust, lies on us. Woman to when you had two women sitting in the room together with 60 minutes doing things that will make you do better. Look in the mirror when we come together and tell the truth. Woman to woman. When you had two women sitting in the room together with 60 minutes doing things that will make you do better. Look in the mirror when we come together and tell the truth. Woman to woman. Sex, trust, lies on us. Yes, sex, trust, lies on us. Woman to woman. Sex, trust, lies on us. Yes, sex, trust, lies on us. Woman to
Welcome to the Woman to Woman show. I'm Trey Kearney.
I'm Ronisa MB.
And this is brought to you by the Mirror Channel Network. We are so happy to have you guys back again this week.
Oh my goodness. This is becoming more and more fun every week. I swear
This
it's
is a good time. Just gotta stick on your There you go. I got it. Got you.
Okay,
yes.
bam.
Good.
Bam.
Anyway, I'm sorry. We just in the living room. Sometimes we just tell
Still got to be cute, the living room. Y'all got y'all wine? Y'all got y'all wine?
Yeah,
Okay.
water, wine,
Water, wine,
beer, liquor,
yeah, how about
lemonade, sangria, whatever you like.
Ripple?
Oh! Shampoo. I'm sorry. Anyway, we're happy to have you guys here. So
Yes. So we appreciate all the feedback that we've been getting over the past couple of weeks. We appreciate all of you guys, all the comments that you're starting to make on Facebook. We really enjoy the engagement, all the inboxes, all the phone calls. We are so excited to have you guys join us. And as always, we are happy to have you guys in the living room with us. It's exciting down here. Y'all need to come on down here. It gets hotter every week. It gets hotter everywhere. 58
North
Park.
New Jersey. We down here in the bricks.
Holla back.
You know, because you know what? Because we from the bricks.
All day.
Every day.
Who the bill?
You know how we do. You know how we do.
So, as always, one of the whole things or whatever too is just to let women, we welcome you guys here and hope that you're enjoying us as much as we enjoy all things that we have going on. We have a great show tonight. We're going to be talking about decisions.
Yes.
When you choose to stay in a relationship, when you know
you need to go.
Right. And so it's always one of the main questions that we ask is 10% of something better than nothing at all. And it's going to be funny to even have to talk about that.
Yes. Because we've all been there for the 10% of something, which was really 100% of nothing.
But when you're in it, you
feel like you got 100%. You're like, I'm doing this.
When you're in it, like, you riding around and you get it. Like, it turned to something completely different.
Yes.
But it's always the idea that, again, we see what we want to see. And then we start to realize a whole bunch of other stuff is going on. Then we start to act stupid. And then we don't want to make other kind of decisions that we need to be making. Because you just know.
Because you get wrapped up in it and you feel like you're in love and you feel like you invested time. A lot of people think they've been in a relationship for a long time, 2 months. It's like, I've been in this I ain't letting go.
Uh-huh.
You know, I've been in this forever, so
Yeah, I done invested too much time. She
And-
can't have them.
yeah.
All those kind of things. But we're gonna talk about that a whole lot
A little
tonight.
bit later.
Yeah.
Yes.
Um,
You know, we went on a little tangent just now, like we always do, because we excited about our topic tonight.
And to have you guys, and hopefully everybody will tune in. That's tuning in. You guys are going to the chat right now.
Yes.
And you're starting to chat us. We want you to tweet us. If you guys are all just tweet W2W show, just to get some of your feedback as well too. It appears on our internet site, and if you're already there, please be engaged. This is not about us. It's all really about you guys. We want to just be able to say that. One, we want to thank our sponsors as always.
Of course,
we got to
yes.
get those in because that's paying the bills. Paying
Mhm.
the bills.
Yes, paying the bills. Thank you to our sponsors, Ace Media Corp,
Movement Magazine,
Mona Lot,
I'm on the lot, Cobblestone Multimedia, and
Hyatt.
and
Yes.
Hyatt.
Thank you to all our sponsors. We really appreciate you. So, you want to get into some news?
I think we're gonna start off. Let's just start off. Trey, I'm gonna talk about a little bit of craziness
That we've been. Why you
Yeah.
didn't put me on blast again this week? She always want
I
to
said-
talk with our.
I said Trey and I.
I
said
know.
we're gonna both
Let's start with our cray. Okay, let's start with our cray.
Cray.
Cray. Yes.
All right. So Trey.
Right. I knew it was gonna be on me. I knew it. I knew it. And the living room knew it. They knew it, right? Then y'all know it's gonna be on me first. Yeah. See, but I'm ready.
All right.
That's what I'm here for.
Don't be trying to go like you hard, son. She thinks she team dark skin. Like she don't even know.
I see that.
So-
You see that? I know you ain't talking, but we gonna go.
Okay.
We gonna.
So honestly, one of the things too, again through the inboxes and stuff, it was a question posed, and this goes back to a previous show before we even go that far because we talked about a whole bunch of stuff. Is I asked Trey a question yesterday while we was at the hair salon, and I said to her, Trey, when you got married, was it the thought, in the process of going through that, what you were going through,
Mhm.
was it the thought that because you guys had went through everything that you went through, that you and your husband went through, that now, even though you cheated and he cheated, and now that you guys were together, was your pain, your anger and all the other stuff, whatever, the fact that he cheated on you? Like, was it the
Mhm.
expectation, whatever, that he wouldn't do it just because, now it was you, opposed to being
Mhm.
being the other woman in the sense things or whatever.
Yes.
And so Trey gave me her honest answer to that, which, is nice, again, because it's all about keeping it real.
Yes.
So for you guys to be able to hear that, because I don't want everybody to think that, again, Trey thinks that she's above everybody, now
Because
because
for
she got.
some reason, some of the ladies on social media think that I think because I'm married now that I'm better than them or I haven't been through something. I'm here to share with you to tell you that you deserve better. I just now know that I deserve better. So I'm here to share with you that there's certain things that you shouldn't be going through. There's certain things that you shouldn't be doing. You shouldn't be the side chick. And and people think that I'm saying that because I'm now the wife and not the side chick. I'm not saying that because I'm on a pedestal. I'm saying that because I shouldn't have been anybody's side chick. I didn't know any better at the time, but I know better now, so I do better. So I get to share that with people and let them know that you should not be somebody's side chick. You should stop it if you're messing with somebody's husband. It's not right. You're wrong too. So,
But give the reason why you said it was more so about.
It was more so the fact that I thought because I had grown in a situation from what I had done to somebody, I never wanted to hurt another person the way that I hurt my ex-husband. So I thought that my now husband wouldn't want to hurt another person that way, not just me, just from the process of what we've been through. I just thought that he wouldn't want to hurt another person that way, and for him to do that, it made me feel some type of way about him.
Right.
Because I'm like, yo, dude, like you didn't learn from everything that we've been through.
Right.
Like not just me, like I didn't put myself on a pedestal like, oh, he'll never cheat on me because that's not realistic.
Right.
But I just thought from the lesson learned of watching somebody hurt so bad, like just to think about the way that I hurt somebody causes me pain right now. And I would never ever, and I'll say this right now, I would never ever do anything like that again.
Right.
But that's my maturity level, and everybody doesn't mature at the same level as another person. So he very well could do this again, and I hope he does it, but I'm not in somebody else's head. You never can be.
Right.
But it was a learning process for me to never do that again, and I've matured in different ways in my heart, in my spirit. I've spiritually grown, and I've just learned some things along the way that when you hurt people, you really hurt yourself, because you have to look in the mirror and deal with that guilt once you come to the reality and the realization, it's like, wow, I'm screwed up. Like, yo, I looked in the mirror one day and I was just like, yo, what's wrong with you? Like, who does that?
Right.
And it really dawned on me after it happened to a family member. I was like, yo, why would somebody do that to you? And I was that somebody.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, I'm that chick.
And that's the part that yesterday it was almost crazy. You know, y'all got big eyes, but to hear her say that, it was like, oh my goodness, that was a drop in my spirit, because again, people just say, well, you know, if he cheated on her, if they cheated with somebody else and they cheated together, like why wouldn't that all wouldn't that all transpire? But to hear her say that it was really because I had learned the lesson in hurting somebody else, that I thought that once we got this, that he understood too, that you didn't want to hurt anybody else. And so that's the growth part about it all too. Now I commend you, Trey, all the time, that I see how you grow and always take ownership of it. And
oh, thank you.
So,
but it's a people, and I don't knock anything that anybody does, my husband, another man, another woman, or what they're doing, because people mature at different rates. And that's what I had to realize. I had to realize that, you know, my cousin that I spoke about, you know, a friend who's messing with somebody's man, like she's maturing at her own rate. Like she got to look in the mirror one day and be like, yo, I'm that chick. And nobody ever wants to wake up one morning and be like, I'm that chick, because I didn't know I was that chick.
Right.
Like all my reasons for why we were together, you know, we like, oh, it was God's, you know, God brought us back together. We were supposed to be together. Like 15 years later, this is God's divine purpose.
That must be a magic number, that whole Mary J. Blige. 11 years.
Yeah.
My life. We should put that on rotation, girl.
We should have.
Okay.
But we think it's like, there's no reason for anybody to do anything like that, but we have all our own excuses until, like I said, when you get to a certain maturity level and you have your children and you have your family members who were hurt, and you look in the mirror and one day you look at yourself and you say, I'm that chick.
Right.
I'm the side chick, I'm the home wrecker, I'm the groupie, I'm the break chick, and you gotta get through all of that.
Yeah. So y'all got it now. So y'all understand. Trey don't think that she better than anybody else just because she got a ring on it and all the other kind of stuff. So we'll be right back. We're gonna come back and talk about Ronice's whole drama too.
Yes.
So again, thank you for tuning in. We'll be right back.
You are tuned into the Woman to Woman show. I am Trey Kearney.
I am Ronise MB. And
Let's just
so
go right back.
we're gonna take it right back. So again, thank Trey for sharing that little tidbit. Thank you. So
But I don't think I'm better than anybody.
yeah,
If you mess with my husband,
don't think you mess with Trey.
I'm just
That's Trey. We going hard. I got Vaseline, some earrings. Ain't scared to take them off and give them to somebody. They keep telling me I got lipstick on my teeth.
Lipstick on her teeth.
So, in the news last
Yes.
week.
Oh, in the news, yes.
There's been, again, a lot of stuff going on in the news, and some newsworthy and some not.
Yeah.
Some
I mean,
some overdrawn, and some just.
We try to engage
Smoke
with
screen.
our listeners and our viewers, so we try to work on that because I got a lot of people coming at me because I don't know why people love to debate with me.
Because
But
you're
anyway,
debatable.
So
You're debatable.
we're gonna talk. We're gonna talk about Donald Sterling and the Clippers.
Just a little bit.
Just a little tiny.
Well,
bit.
not from that side that y'all all talking about, because side chick done shut down the NBA.
That's what we gonna talk about. See,
Side chick shut down the NBA.
that's all I'm saying. You know what? You know what? We
Y'all
don't even
needs
gonna
to
talk
be.
about.
Y'all needs to be more careful.
That's the whole point. When you start dealing with another woman and you're married, bad things will happen. Okay, when side chicks,
She 80 and he 25. You know he don't understand technology.
she 25,
She 32.
she 31, I think. But anyway,
She 80.
he 80.
What do you know about tweeting and Instagram?
He don't know none of that stuff.
They done called me up with that Instagram
The
stuff.
Instagram telling me you up there with them black people.
Uh-huh.
So
You can do what
listen,
you want to sleep where you want to sleep, but just don't put it on no
just don't bring the
Instagram.
black people
Don't
around.
put it on the games.
Don't put on internet. Don't put it in the cloud.
And she black and Mexican.
So you know what my problem
She's
is?
the
You know, I had a debate going on back and forth on Facebook about, because I said, I just think that's just not right that she recorded his conversation, because privacy is privacy. And I don't condone racism at all, and I had to keep saying this. Listen, I'm not a racist, I don't condone
You got money?
racism.
You can keep somebody from getting a job.
No,
You got some money?
no.
Then you ain't racist.
That-
Don't say what she say, girl.
I'm just saying, just telling people I ain't racist. But anyway, I'm just saying, a person being with somebody, there's a certain amount of privacy in your home. I don't expect somebody to record me while I'm at home, you know, talking privately. And
Right.
It
came with some malicious intent.
Exactly, that's
and
my
so-
problem. And like I said, everything we talk about is about accountability. Everybody needs to be held accountable for this mess
Right.
that has been created, that's trickling down to a whole bunch of different people. And that's my whole other thing. All this mess always trickles down to a whole bunch of other people, not just the two immediate people who was the side chick, the mistress, the wife. A whole bunch of other people get drugged into it, and you know you ain't had no business being with her, and you know you ain't had no business being with him. Because if you had a problem with him talking about black people and being a racist, you should have walked away with nothing. You left with them Louis, them Gucci's, that money, that apartment, that car, that Bentley. If you really had a problem, it was power to the people, you should have left and just been like, I can't take this no more because you're talking about black people. You couldn't take it no more because he was breaking up with you.
As I should say.
Bam. That's all I'm gonna say about that. And she needs to be held accountable for her mess because she messy. Now you wanna walk around with a visor on. Why? We saw your face. What was you
Right.
hiding for? You ashamed of something you did.
Yeah.
The only time we hide is when we're ashamed. Take that visor off since you're so proud of what you did.
You let everybody know about it. You know, you expose so many things, and not only that, the other side of this too, and this is me coming from where I'm coming from,
Yes.
is that when you value your values, you're valuable.
Yes.
And so for all the brothers that, you know, it's admirable, you turned your jersey inside out, you did all the kind of stuff or whatever, but he's the owner. He trades you at will to do all the other kind of stuff or whatever. So all you ladies that's looking for the baller, that's looking for everything or whatever, he is owned by someone else.
Yes.
And if you didn't know it, he showed you know it now. And so,
Bam.
for all you fellas, LeBron and Jordan and don't you, my whole thing, just move away from them.
Yeah.
Go start your own, the value, the power, everything else is in you. But that's for people that don't know that they're valuable.
Yes.
And so as Harriet Tubman said, I could have freed more slaves if they only knew they were slaves. And so
Exactly.
they're going to keep on shucking their job and they're going to keep on playing because the man said, well, they got a contract. Doc Rivers, more power to you because I don't know if I could still coach for the brother. And they ain't losing nothing because his wife, supposedly, she owned part of the team. She just as racist as he was because they 80.
And that's the whole point that I'm saying. Like, we acting like, everybody's just
They
acting
ain't
like
from
they're
down
so
south.
surprised that these people are racist.
You let me know somebody that's 80 ain't from down
But
south.
anybody who lived in that era, and I'm talking about black and white people.
Right.
After you've been through certain things, you've been raised a certain way, that doesn't just come out of you at 80 years old, because even when your kids are coming to you saying, Dad,
but they can say he had a history of this, and so it was, you know, the landlords and all the other kind of stuff. But it would have been fine, and again, you guys understand this is not about what he said. It's just the point. He became a liability for the NBA because sponsors started pulling their money, and that's what the whole situation was.
That's why, that's why he got a slap on the hand, because that's all he got.
Yeah, $25 million. That's like a quarter right now. So we going
2.5 million.
2.5 million. 2.5?
Yeah, that's like a quarter.
He probably had that up underneath his mattress somewhere.
Tucked in it. And when he sell the team, then what? Bam, y'all just made him.
They bidding on it. It's up to, he only paid $77 million for it. It's like worth 500.
16 million.
Oh, go on, Tim. Keep it coming. I love my little pull it up.
I love when we got a man in the living room. Let's clap it up for the brother in the living room.
You too, y'all.
Helping us
You
out.
too, y'all.
Ladies.
Jackie
Ladies, come on down. And now let's get into. We're gonna let that go. But the whole thing about it is, when you're messing with somebody who doesn't have your best interest at heart, you gotta be careful. Men, be careful with your side chick or.
Well, since you done brought up another side chick, just a little crazy little story. So y'all are, hopefully you are on our Facebook page, along to Woman Show on our Facebook page. You follow us on Facebook, because we posted a little story.
Yes.
And a lot of y'all just had to say, I had to leave this one alone.
Yes.
That little Mo found out while she was having a threesome that her husband was cheating on her. Let me say that one more time. Little Mo was having a threesome, and she found out her husband was cheating on her. So go ahead, Trey, tell me how she found out. She wrote a song about it.
Okay, so she said that when her and her husband were smashing, and this is the way she was talking, when her and her husband was smashing this chick, they looked real comfortable, like it was familiar, like, you know, when it's new.
You know, to look to the left.
And when he hit it, she ain't jump. Because, you know, if you ain't familiar with it, you might jump. If you know what I'm saying. This is an adult show. But she ain't jump left when he hit right. So she like, oh, y'all done did this before. So, but the question is, you gave your husband permission to cheat, but as long as you give him permission, it's okay. Like, but y'all was all in the mix. So like, what difference did it make at this point or whatever? Because y'all all in the mix. But that's when she said she found out. Crazy. But the whole thing about it is problems. That's what I'm saying. Problems into your relationship. Like, you can't be mad. But I guess it was like, well, just as long as I'm included, it's good. As long as I give you permission. But what you give permission for when you're there, you're also giving permission for when you're not there. So if you say your husband can do certain things with you in a room, or when you're doing, what do you think, that he's not going to carry out that behavior because you're not around? I don't understand. Like, if I give you permission, if you give me permission to do something, then you give me permission to do it all the time. Then it's fair in the game. I'm assuming we get to sleep with other people because we do it together. So why be mad at me? So one of the comments, y'all make sure you put your thoughts and comments in the Woman Show for me, please. One of the comments is, we want to read some of your comments because we promised we would, so I'm going to make this quick. Kimberly just said, just messy. Janine said, I agree with the lady. She looks and sounds just plain old crazy. Wow. Then we have Al Cormier, you know. Kumar, you must know him. Hey, shout out. Hey. He said, well, excuse me for the thought of the sanctity of the marriage, but one of their threesomes, I am literally gawking at the thought of one of their threesomes, laughing my butt off, because you started and now he's gonna finish it. Shaking my head, Dad, get a clue. You do not allow a man to defile your union that is including the man you married. I can't. Thank you, that was a good post. But you opened the door, let the devil in. Right. And now you mad. So she moved on to somebody else. That's what you're gonna do. But and the whole thing about it is, she talking about spirituality. She talking about spirituality and a threesome all in the same breath. Little Mo, get out of here, girl. We done with you. Bye. So another topic. D.L. Hughley said that it's women. It's our fault, because we went back to the Columbus Short situation. That it was his wife's fault that, because they was getting ready to get divorced and women go through malicious comments and things like that, just at the time when things getting ready to go awry, which takes us back to the other side chick or whatever. Yes. Mr. Sterling in his situation too. So again, men, when you say things, especially when you're in the limelight, even though you may not think of it, as if to say it was her fault that she was beat, that she was choked, and all the other kind of stuff.
And we ain't gonna even get a whole lot of drama. Again, put your comments on our Facebook page. We welcome those. Another news topic.
D.L. Hughley, everybody's supposed to keep their hands to themselves no matter what. Just let me say that. You have no right to hit, choke,
But the D.L. Hughley feeling some kind of way because his wife left. You know, he had
but I'm
a
just
message
saying,
divorce, so
yeah, I'm
he
just
feeling
saying,
some kind of way.
nobody don't get, ain't nobody fault when somebody hit you. Somebody hit you, they don't have no self-control.
Right.
I'm sorry.
Another topic or whatever, and this one is a little bit more on the serious side that we're dealing with. 237 girls were abducted in Nigeria.
Yes.
And they haven't been found yet. And as much as we want to talk about all the power and everything else that we have, one of the things that we need to be conscious of is that the rights that we have here as women, they don't always transcend globally.
Mm-hmm.
And so to know that these girls are still missing, and here it is that we are choosing to do things that are putting us in adverse light in adverse situations. It's almost crazy to me that we want to talk about swinging from a pole, and we want to talk about somebody's video, and we want to talk about a woman that shut down the NBA and everything else. We have 237 girls that they don't know where they are. And this is more reason why, part of the reason why we collect money on our page or whatever is to donate to help domestic violence situations, that help women. And things that are going on. They said that these girls may have been abducted to become brides. They may have been abducted to become slaves in another country, that they may become domestics here in the U.S. Because that's a whole other little slave trade that we still talk about, that we don't know about. So when we got somebody that's talking once on one end, and we have other people that we don't know about. So again, you guys go on, learn more about this situation, because it's definitely serious.
Yes.
And then, that's always a heavy situation when we talk about that. But to share some good news, because there's always a thing too, everybody was talking about there's no good news. Trey and I saw a wonderful play.
Oh yes, we did.
It's a wonderful play, and it really comes down to, again, hurt women hurt, and primarily they hurt themselves. And I don't know if you guys all know the story of Billie Holiday, but one of the things that everybody always talk about, Lady Sing the Blues being the whole thing. We went to go see Lady Day at Emerson's Bar and Grill this week. Thank you so much, Rowena, for the tickets. We appreciate you so much. Thank you, Rowena Husbands. This play is one night. It's her last night, 4 months before she actually passes away, that she gives this whole performance, and it takes you from when she was a child to adulthood. And to hear her story, it will literally make you laugh, cry, and everything else. She was talking real talk, how older people talk. And you guys see pictures of Billie Holiday, and when you see her, you would think that she was old, but she was only 44.
Yes, when she passed away.
She died from congenital heart failure, cirrhosis of the liver, and the way she drank, but the note of her pain. We encourage you guys. And it's not just, it's a heavy story, but it's also a lighthearted story too, because she really, Audrey McDonald, I'm telling you guys, I don't know if you guys know, she's the woman from The Practice. But to hear her, she's Billie Holiday.
On that stage, yes she is.
Woo! 2-second break. Trey goes, Trey Blonde is back. So I'm like, Trey, you see this? She's like, girl, I can't see nothing.
I left my glasses home.
Left my glasses home. So I'm all in it. But but you really, even if you weren't there, you could, just being there in the audience, you could feel it. It's a really intimate theater. Again, I encourage everybody, please go see it. Please go see it. There's I'm not sure. I know it's on Broadway. And I think it's going to be there for a while. But the lighter side and the greater side of it all is to know that Audrey McDonald was just nominated for a Tony. And it's a well-deserved one.
It really was. I'm telling you, I really felt like I was watching Billie Holiday on stage. So drunk and telling her story.
Drunk. She left out for a minute because she said, I ain't gonna get my flowers. She talking about black bitches, gray bitches.
All kinds. She came back out with a dog. You gotta
came back out with a dog.
Yeah.
She's like, I ain't sick. Y'all start talking about the doctor. Y'all know what time it is, whatever. I said, she turned into Gator for a minute.
Yeah, she did.
But again, that's the good news. Definitely please go check out the play. Thank you again, Rowena. And this segment has been sponsored to you by the Movement Magazine. We'll be right back. Thank you so much.
She gon' be rockin' to chill
Ranisa MB.
And we're about to get to our topic right now because you know what? It's been a lot. It's been good in here. It's been heating up. We had some great news stories, some good news. So now it's time to get on with this topic.
Oh my goodness. So,
But first, you're gonna tell us a little bit about your cray pertaining to this topic.
so, God dang, you got hot for this chick.
I bet it did. You didn't think I was letting you go.
You know I thought you gonna let me slide, son. No, let me slide a little. Yeah. So my cray.
Yes.
10% is something better than nothing at all, right?
Yeah.
So it's almost funny when I think about stuff like that. When I think, staying in a relationship longer than you need to, or letting somebody do the drop by, or all I'm looking for is 10%, and somebody else thinking I'm looking for more. There's always a flip side to everything too, y'all. I'm trying to tell y'all. So I give y'all a little bit of both sides. So on one instance, it was, you meet somebody and you're getting all hot, heavy, they calling you, they texting you, they spending time, they coming by, wine and dine and everything else, whatever, right? And everything is good. And so then, you get it in.
Yep.
You get it in more than once, it's good. And then, a little while goes on and you're having fun. And then, like I always say, when you stop having fun,
Yes.
you start putting some responsibilities and accountabilities, and now you don't call me so much. Why you don't call me so much? And it's like, Dad, I just talked to you. It's like, well, what happened here?
Yeah.
Like
You just talk to me.
Right. And so to know it was initially, it was like, okay. And then when you have children, that becomes the other part of it too.
Yes.
Is that you understand that the dynamics of things change. And so for me it was, well, I'm gonna let him come over, because if I don't let him come over, that's the only time he's seen the kids.
Yes.
But then I realized he only coming over to get some,
Yep.
but he ain't coming to spend no time with the kids. And so your whole thing is, he's showing up and he's here, but he ain't spending no time with the kids. And then when he is there, he's sleeping. He's sleeping, he eat, ain't no engagement going on with the kids and all this other kind of stuff. And so it really took me being able to say, this is not real for me or for the kids.
Yes.
But that took, as quick as I thought it should have taken, I'm crazy enough to say that it took 5 years to get that to the point to say.
5 years.
5 years.
5.
And it was only, as I said to you guys, I have been a martyr for so many things and so many situations and so many other things. And even when it came down to, if you take this a little bit further, is that I have had friendships the same way, that I held on to friends a lot longer than I needed to as well.
Yes.
And we do that because of either longevity in friendships, that we believe that we're going to grow together, that we're going to do things together. We're having children together, that quiet on the set.
Sorry, that's how we do in the living room.
It's the living room. It is live. Just in case you didn't know.
Yes.
Quiet on the set, please, ladies. Thank you. When it came down to a lot of my friends, is that I really just wanted them to stay my friends.
Yes.
And so we went through a whole lot of drama. And one of my friends decided she forgot to break up with me. She let me know she broke up with me, but she didn't let me know.
Mm-hmm.
And so I continued to go through it. And I can honestly say that breaking up with my friends was a lot harder for me than breaking up with a mate.
But ain't it funny how those people that you do
Come on and have a
the
seat.
most for just all of a sudden stop speaking to you?
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that crazy? Like,
Yeah.
you're like, huh?
And to know my investment, I'm one of those people where I genuinely and truly invest in all my relationships the same way.
Yes.
And it was a pain and a hurt that went along with it.
Mm-hmm.
And that in itself, I had to start to say, oh, I get it. I'm overvaluing myself as a mate. I'm overvaluing. I had to do the same thing with my son, and that was a hard part for me too, to say to my son, I'm just an advisor in this. I no longer have to parent you.
Yes.
To cut that cord is a really hard thing to do as a mother, and that took a while for me to do that. But it really came down to, again, as I said, when you value your values, you value yourself.
Yes.
And so to know I had to become valuable to myself in order to get to that point. And I have had really great family members to be mindful of the fact that they know that I really and genuinely love people I wanted everybody. I only believe I rise when everybody else rises. But I know that I was the phoenix that was burning up.
Yes.
The phoenix is on,
Yes.
But it turns into a situation that I had to do that. And then the hardest part for me in all of this was really to recognize my own self in this.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I even think about that, get all cray and do all the other kind of stuff or whatever. But on the flip side, 10%, right?
Yes, 10%.
10%.
Is better
So, woo! So I was, in my transition. I must say that I was by myself for about 3 years, and 2 years into this or whatever, as y'all know, I have a whole other life that I sell the things or whatever to make sure everybody feels good and moan lots.
Yes.
But I need some shoulders, right? So 2 years of playing with yourself, you need somebody else to be stroking you a little bit and everything else, whatever. So I had a situation, called. Go get some cigarettes, go hang out for a little bit and everything else. And it was literally, like, I just knew that was all that I needed.
Mm-hmm.
And he and I are really good friends and everything else. And so he was in his own emotional space. And so he just kept saying to me, right, I'm not ready for a relationship. I'm not ready for a relationship. And I just say, boo, we just getting it in. I don't want no relationship. I need some shoulders. Winston ain't got no shoulders. Winston like sitting on the headboard in the shower, up on the floor, whatever. He ain't got no shoulders. I'm just trying to ride around and get it straight. Say his mind, and I'm spinning it. But that's the other part of it too, ladies, is that people will look at it. It's so many men that actually truly believe that everybody that you get involved with, that all of a sudden you want a relationship.
Yeah.
And we don't always want a relationship.
No.
And it's crazy because men believe, well, if she let me hit it, if she let me do this, whatever. One, everybody ain't getting it just because she lets you get it. She may find something valuable in you besides what's in your pants, and she may just enjoy your time and all other kind of stuff. But on top of that, everybody's not looking for a relationship. So as we talked about a few weeks ago in the living room about the hot girl that at 20-something years old, she just may be looking to have fun. As a 40-year-old seasoned woman.
Yes. Yeah, you need to come with something.
Yeah. So you need to come with a little bit more than the table, but it's also the fact that I have a full plate.
Yes.
And so unless I can make room on my plate for you, you serving a purpose. And so as I said to the hubby, one of the things too when we started going out is that you got two options. I am looking for a CEO because I was dating with a purpose. I am looking for a CEO. I have one open position that comes with full-time benefits, or you could be per diem. So you pick your choice now. That means I'm gonna call you when I need you, and show
that's
the time.
it. And don't ask me no questions.
That's it. And so it was almost funny to know that we went through everything that we went through, and to know it was funny. It was 2 weeks after we went on our first date that I said to him, I'm dating with a purpose. What's your intentions? And so some people, they spend a whole lifetime waiting and trying to figure out and everything else. And so what he said to me was, I've been married before. I'm not looking to get married again. So I said, okay, good. We be good, really good friends. He said, what you talking about? I said, we're going to be really good for friends. Ladies, when he tells you something, if you want to be married, and he says, I don't want to be married, you have to have enough earnest to say, okay, fine. It's not your job to change his perception.
Yes.
It's you to stay in power and say, fine, I'm going to walk away from you and go find somebody that does want to be married. When he says to you, I don't want a girlfriend right now, he could spend all his time with you. He could come lay in your house as long as you let him do that. He could come eat your food. He'll take you out and do all other kind of stuff. But he said to you, I don't want a commitment.
So you still ain't his girlfriend.
Bam!
So stop thinking that you are.
Right.
So it's
Well,
the truth,
and then it's times when he'll say, if I get married, y'all marry someone like you. He didn't say I'm gonna marry you. He said somebody like you.
Yes.
And so Mr. said, I ain't never get married again. So I said, okay, fine. We had a whole little conversation. And he would say to me all the time, as time went on, and he would say to me, because we're in a relationship. And I said, look here, contracts. That's what I was talking, contracts. I said, on the application, it says, are you single, married, divorced, or widowed? I am single.
That's it.
And 9 months later, I became engaged. And 12 months later, I became mad.
And on that note, we're going to come right back, so don't go nowhere. Stick around. Go get you another glass of wine, tea, cocoa, water, tequila
Ripple.
shots, Ripple, triple crown, double crown, whatever you're drinking, but we'll be right back.
All right.
myself, engulfed by the power of love. I just fell right in. Oh, yes, I did. Wasn't hardly worried about tomorrow. You were my future. As long as I was being satisfied, I didn't want nothing else. No, no, baby. And now, already, I'm being left at home. Yes, I am. I wonder what it is that makes a man leave a girl so all alone. Oh, people, another woman is usually the thing. Running around just don't seem to change. I'm a victim.
Welcome back to the Woman to Woman show. I'm Trey Kearney.
I'm Ronnie MB.
And now we're going to get back to our topic. Why do we stay when we know it's not a good situation? Why do we stay when we know somebody is taken? And from a different angle, why do we stay when we're the wife and we know that he's cheating?
Oh Lord.
So let's talk about
I
that.
should've started so bad.
And I'm just saying, you know, a lot of times people ask me, you know, why did I stay? And a lot of times for me, I always tell women, until you pick yourself, you're going to continue to be in competition with other women to want a man to pick me. And for a long time, that was the reason why I was staying, because I wanted to validate myself and say, he has to pick me. Like,
Right.
why wouldn't he pick me? I'm the better choice. Look,
Right.
why aren't you picking me? Until I said, there shouldn't be another choice. There should only be one choice, and that choice should be me. And like you said, when I was willing to be by myself and say, you know what, I could be by myself, it's all good.
Right.
But the one thing as women, we have to be honest with men too and say, one of the reasons why I believe he behaved the way he behaved, because I never would move on. So that was a comfort zone for him to say,
Yeah.
you know,
that old
she
shit.
ain't going nowhere. So
Right.
when I finally got to the point where I said, you don't have to pick me.
I'm picking myself.
I pick myself, but
Mhm.
understand that I'm moving on. I'm
Right.
not an old hag. You know, it's all good and I'm going. Now,
Now they say the easiest way for a man to get past is to get up underneath somebody
the
else,
easiest
right?
way for a woman to get over a man is to get under another one.
Bam!
But like I said, when I finally decided that,
New
I
stick,
picked
new
me.
stick, good stick, ain't it?
Yep. and the reality, see, she always got in trouble. And the reality of the situation, ladies, is no man wants a weak woman that he can walk over. That's why he's out conquering the world. So when you sitting there, pick me, I'm a victim. The song that just went, I'm a victim. He's sitting back like, gosh, he thirsty.
Yeah.
You know, you gotta put your freaking dress on and say, you know what? Life is good. I
about to
pick
go
me,
outside.
and I'm done.
On top of that too, like when you even said to know that you have a wife, and so for the women that I talk to that are dealing with somebody that's married, and they say, well, his wife knows about me, and so to ask the wife, why would you stay? And so the comfort becomes, I invested too much time in him.
Yeah.
And I'd be damned, as Beyonce said, I'd be damned if I want to see another chick on his arm.
We got a house,
So
we got cars, we got a business, we got the kids.
I've been with him for 20 years. I'd be damned if I'm let somebody else have him.
And they just get so
And have
much
his good
attention
pension.
though. But a lot of women get caught up in the family portrait. You go to their house, you see the portrait with him, the two kids, the dog, the house is clean, everything seems as
She
if
getting
it
high in the
is.
back because she's stressed out.
She getting drunk, everything seems
Right.
as if it is what it is, but it's really a messy situation. So a lot of people go on pretending, like you said, because they don't want to lose their things.
Right, and that you become the item. Your marriage becomes the item. You don't want somebody to look at you different. It's so much that goes on, and I always caution my clients, don't get comfortable in any situation.
Exactly.
When I talk to women and they say, well, we need to take this to the next level. And so I said, well, what's the next level? And they said, well, we've been together 8 years, 9 years, 12 years. I want to get married. And so I said, well, what changes? You didn't put any requirements on him or whatever. Well, we got kids. But you didn't put that requirement on him before you had children. So why are you putting that requirement on him now? And I said, and what do you think changes when you get married? Because I can tell you guys, and we're going to talk about this in another show, as a newlywed marriage, the wedding is a production, as I call that or whatever. That's a big fanfare. Marriage is work. And for all you people that think it's going to turn into something fun and everything else, it's work constantly. I posted this week or whatever about a couple of men that I talked to, and they were saying, one of the men, he's dropped something profound on me to say, if you are in a marriage and your husband is committed to you, or if you're in a relationship and that mate is committed to you, that he feels entitled to sex with you because he's conquered that. And so telling him no, it becomes one of those things that he's like, you can't tell me no. Your property, and so whether you want to call it submission or something like that, and so to know if you tell him no often enough, then he feels as if he's being rejected, and so he'll go out to conquer somebody else, and so you gotta make him climb a mountain.
Yes.
Y'all know I'm 5'10", right? Damn. I had a moment.
Yeah, I know, it's okay.
But to know,
it's
it becomes one of those things to know that when you're dealing in that, why choose to do something, whatever, that's not making you happy?
Yes.
Again, ladies, I always say to you, you gotta first love yourself. And a lot of women don't put requirements on men because they're afraid, well, if I say too much, then he's not gonna come back, like I shared with you guys. If I said too much, he wouldn't come and visit the kids. If I asked him for too much money, what if he wouldn't give me anything? If I said, I don't want to be seen as a nag, I don't want to be seen as a B, I don't want to be seen as all the other kind of things or whatever, damn it, you got needs. And so if you can't address those needs and you can't speak about them, then you're not really in a relationship.
You're with the wrong person.
Yeah, because it should all happen seamlessly. Communication should take place. You should
Yes.
never be afraid to be able to say what you need to say and to ask for what you need to ask for. And to even know I have another client that I'm working with, and she is so depressed, I feel really bad for her, is that she was with her husband. He was married before, and he was married in that marriage or whatever for about 10 years. 6 out of those 10 years, she cheated with him.
The woman he's with now.
My client.
Yes.
Right? So then he left that wife and married her. They were together for 15 years. 8 years out of the 15 years, he was with somebody else. Right? So now he's left for another woman, the same woman, right? And she keeps saying to him, well, you need to choose. I said, you need to choose what? He's already made his choices. When do you choose yourself? When do you choose herself? And so she's allowed him to come back, and she said, oh, we're working on things. You know when they work on things?
In the bedroom.
Monday through Wednesday. Monday through Wednesday. Because Thursday he's not home. Friday I gotta get my kids. Saturday I got something to do or whatever. And Sunday, I got to go to church with my mother.
Wow.
But I'll be back on Monday. And then get mad because she ain't bringing him food in bed and all this other kind of crap or whatever.
See, but those are the requirements that's what she's been doing for him. And
right.
Like I said,
you get the love that you think that you deserve.
Exactly.
What you put up with is what you're going to get. And so, ladies, this is the crazy stuff. And this is the show that we want to be able to have real conversation with you about some real things. It's not judging anybody. We just do some crazy shit to ourselves. We settle for some things, whatever. And whether it's the thought again, well, he's the only one that has approached me. I told you guys, nobody asked me to go out.
Yeah, me either. But that didn't make me feel like I needed to jump on the next thing coming.
But look, if that train don't stop, then that ain't the train you're supposed to be on, right?
No, you can't. Like we always say, you just can't really be
don't stop.
thirsty, and it's just so hard to see yourself when you're caught up in the moment. Like my family and friends used to tell me things.
You couldn't see it,
and I thought that they were nuts. Until I finally came to my senses, and like I said, I began to mature, and I began to see family and friends going through the same thing I was going through, and I was giving them advice.
But your friends become your mirror.
Yeah,
that's the other thing too.
Exactly. I was giving them advice,
around.
and I said,
yo shit, hey.
Lord have mercy, I need to tell myself
that.
that. What am I doing? Like I'm telling them stuff, and I'm saying, I'm in that situation too. So why don't I hear that until, like I said, like you said, until it became a mirror to me, and they were like, you hear yourself, right? And I was like, wow. And like I said, none of us want to become that chick, because we're caught up in the moment. He loved me, he do this for me, he come over Monday through Wednesday, he buy food for the house.
Or how about the girls that be like,
he buy food for the house.
He gonna leave me for her? Like you see her and she be like, oh, she ain't as cute as me, she ain't, her butt ain't as big as mine, she ain't this, whatever. And you just be like, stop being so superficial.
Yeah.
Stop being so superficial.
Stop being so superficial.
Oh, I like that word.
Because you stupid by saying that. Because
everything.
everything.
Superficial.
superficials. We're gonna use that because like every man's preference is not always a woman's looks.
Mm-hmm.
Women gotta understand that sometimes.
Oh, I'm cooking, I'm cleaning.
Yeah.
He might like a messy house.
He might like
but
and they saying I'm cute and I'm this and I'm that. But this woman that he's dealing with, who may not look better than you, may be stimulating his mind.
Mm-hmm.
She may be out hunting with him. She may be playing chess.
Or the whole conversation about some real things that deal with real issues.
I look better than her.
Right.
Look at my booty, or we got kids together.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, even from the wife point of view of staying with somebody who you shouldn't be with, or who's been abusive to you, and I'm not talking about physically putting his hands on you, who has mentally,
but it becomes emotionally disconnected. It's a lot of women that are emotionally removed, like they never had somebody to hug them.
Yeah.
They never had all those things or whatever, and so to even know that once you have somebody to give you that stimulates you in some sort of way, emotionally abandonment. A lot of women stay because they don't want to be abandoned, and so to know that there are so many women that have never really just had emotional connection. It comes back to the mother that never said I loved you, the mother that never hugged you, the father that you just never felt those feelings for, and then to have one person start to pay you attention, you're like, oh, this is love. But no.
And ladies, you have to learn to be by yourself in order to love yourself. You have to be able to like the person that you are.
So go on the date by yourself, ladies, if nothing else.
Yes.
But we'll be right back.
Trouble with my friends, trouble in my life, problems when you don't come home at night. But when you do, you always start a fight. But I can't be alone, I need you to come on home. I know but who the hell else is gonna hold me down? Ooh, I've gotta be on my mind to think it's gonna work this time. A part of me wants to leave, but the other side still believes. And it kills me to know how much I really love you. So much I wanna to you. Should I grab his cell, call this chick up, start some then hang up? Or should I be a lady? Ooh, maybe 'cause I wanna have his babies. Oh yeah, 'cause I don't wanna be alone. I don't need to be on my own. But I love this man, but some things I just can't stand.
Welcome back to the Woman to Woman show. I'm Trey Kearney.
I'm Ronise MB. This has been another phenomenal show for us.
It really has, and we hate to leave. You know, I said I was going to sing my Donnie and Marie theme at the end. Okay, I'm going to skip it. But we want to thank our sponsors, Ace Media Corp, The Movement Magazine, Mona Lot, Cobblestone Media, Hyatt. We want to thank the Living Room for being here.
Thank you so much, you guys. Thank you so much. So final thought?
When you value yourself, he'll value you. When you value yourself, she'll value you.
Right. So my thing, again, you guys, you're architect of your own destruction.
Yes.
I tell you guys all of that all the time. You need to fly at your own altitude or whatever, make sure you elevate so that people will fly with you at that same level. But the love that you accept is the love that you'll get.
Yes.
And so you have to be able to see yourself to know that you deserve more and hold yourself accountable. No matter what choice it is, it's never his fault, anything that's going on. If you want to be married, go find a man that wants to be married. If you want a relationship, find somebody to be in a relationship. If you want to be by yourself, be honest enough with that man and don't play with his feelings either.
Exactly.
And say you want to be by yourself.
But like
So,
you said, it's about accountability.
It's
So
all about
anything that's
accountability.
going on in your life right now is based on your choices.
Definitely. So we will see you guys again next week. Next week, we're talking about the big payment. He can do it, so I can do it too. How you like them peppers?
So who wins? We'll talk about that next week.
So see you guys next week. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
When you have two women sitting in the room together, in 60 minutes doing things that will make you do better. Look in the mirror when we come together and tell the truth. Woman to woman. When you have two women sitting in the room together, in 60 minutes doing things that will make you do better. Look in the mirror when we come together and tell the truth. Woman to woman. Sex, trust, lies on us. Yes, sex, trust, lies on us. Woman to woman. Sex, trust, lies on us. Yes, sex, trust, lies on us. Woman to when you have two women sitting in the room together, in 60 minutes doing things that will make you do better. Look in the mirror when we come together and tell the truth. Woman to woman. When you have two women sitting in the room together, in 60 minutes doing things that will make you do better. Look in the mirror when we come together and tell the truth. Woman to woman. Sex, trust, lies on us. Yes, sex, trust, lies on us. Woman to woman. Sex, trust, lies on us. Yes, sex, trust, lies on us. Woman to woman. Woman to